I did this photo effect for a job a few weeks ago, and it's just been ages since I've done anything really interesting in Photoshop. Something that was simple but really interesting in Photoshop. So I just thought, why not do a tutorial on, or at least show you how to do this. What's happening, guys? Dan Debenham here. So yes, we're going to do this dual lighting effect in Photoshop, and we're going to see how that's done, see how easy it is. It just gives your photo an extra dynamic for if you're using it in marketing or you want to colour match it to something else that you're doing. And it's just such a great idea, very artistic. So without further ado, let's dive on into Photoshop and let's just see how it's done and what you can do with it. So we've got our image set into Photoshop and we're ready to go, but how do we get this image to be dual colour? Well, it's pretty simple. We do that using gradient maps. And what we're going to do then is we're going to come over to our layers panel over down here. We're going to go to this half cut circle, this sort of black white circle, click it and click gradient map. That's going to bring up a weird looking thing, and we're going to see this here. So click on here and then we're going to click in here, and then you can see you've got a smoothness and you've got a gradient type, and we've got black on the right, white on the left. We want that the opposite way around, and you'll see our image come back together. Now you can see the images there, so we keep that selected, the white, because we want more selected stuff on the right hand side here, not the left. The left always wants to be black in this case. So we're going to click OK on the colour, and then we're going to pick a colour that we want it to be. So let's go with a sort of maybe a really high contrast blue. So click OK on that, and we're OK with that, we're happy with it. What we're going to do now is we need a red, so we're going to go back here again. In fact, what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to double click on this and I'm going to call it blue, just so that we know where we are. So we're going to double click on this again, gradient map again, same thing. We're going to go up here. We've got white on the left, black on the right. We want to switch them round so that they're not that way round. Keep the white selected, click in the colour, and then we're going to select a colour that we want. In this case, let's have red, because why not? So we've got two contrasting colours. We've got blue and we've got red. But we want to be able to paint this red, because we only want this red on this side of the image, or on this side of the image. So let's have red on this side of the image and blue on this side of the image. So what we're going to do is click in gradient map. The way we do that is we want to put it to the back. So we're going to click Command on a Mac and I, or Control I on a PC, and that's going to drop it to the back. So we can see we've got all the blue on one side and all the blue on the other, but we did have red, but now it's gone black. So we go up to our brush tool. We're going to change our flow to what we want it to be. I'm going to say 25% so that it's just a little bit smoother. We've got black selected, and now what we can do is we can begin to paint in the red on one side. So what we can do now is we can go over here, make sure white is selected, and start to paint in. And as you can see, it's starting to paint in. We're only painting in on the side that we know that the red would have been. So for us, that's all this one side. And it's nothing where the clothing is pointing across to the right, because obviously that would be all blue, because the light is shining in from the blue side. But it would be his face and lips and part of his nose, like so, and that bit of neck there would all be red, like so. And we can paint that in, no worries. And we can just go over it again a little bit, because obviously I've got a 20% flow on here, so it's not giving me 100% of the colour. So the longer I go over it, the better and brighter it will be. I can just get across there, like so, like that. And then it's basically just looking to see which bits might be the bits that we would want to see which are red on this side. So for instance, we possibly would want some of these glasses to be red. So maybe this point here. So we'll just move this down slightly so that we can see where we're at. And we'll take the flow down to maybe 10% just to give us a bit of breathing space there so it doesn't come straight in. And we just go over that like so, and then just blend it straight out like that. Then we'll zoom back out just to see what that looks like. That looks great. That looks really, really good. So now what we need to do is we need to do a similar sort of thing here. So we're going to go, I'm going to paint that blue in, that red in there, over the blue, like that. I'm going to change the flow down to maybe 5% here. And then I'm going to pull this up slightly because what I want to do is I want to give that slightly off blue colour. And I want to give that one slightly off blue colour, like so. Because what I want to show is that there's a bit of red coming in. And it is effectively just a bit of finagling to try and get the images where the lighting should be into the right areas. So for us, that will be there. And it would be there, like that. And it would also be along that edge there. Like so. And it's just to give us that little bit extra to look like he's got a bit more realism to him in terms of the red colour. And there you have it, a dual colour image. So yeah, as you can see, such a great and easy effect to put together, which just goes that little bit further to sort of match in your imagery with your campaign or your marketing materials, your video, etc, etc. And it just lets them stand off a little bit more. So it's a good tip for using for thumbnails, that kind of thing, because it's nice and colourful. Because it's two-tone, it's just got that little bit difference to what other people are doing with their thumbnails. So with that, I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope it was useful. I'm sure it is. As I say, I've used it a few times myself in different projects, most notably recently for a project with work, and I just thought it would be a good idea to put it out just to show how it was actually done. There are other methods and other ways of doing things as well. I'm not going to cover every single way you can doctor a photo in Photoshop, not in this video anyway. I hope you found it useful. Please do like and subscribe below. That does help the channel. It gives me feedback as to whether I'm on the right track and what we're doing is enjoyable by you and useful by you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!